Where do you want to see yourself go?
I feel like I'm ready for an elevation to the next level, artistically, vocally, writing wise. I'm up there with popular artists that are on the radio.
So that video is a crazy video, crazy dope video. What was the how long did it take to do that video?
Honestly, we shot that video in like...
You and Chandler and Karen J run for his money. How important collaboration is for you when you're creating your music?
When I think about collaboration, I think about how so many of our legendary foundational artists, you know, their songs out to get their gifts out. Iron sharpens iron, so it's always good to bounce ideas off of other artists.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Solar Streets. I am G Waterz, and tonight, whatever time you're listening to the Solar Streets, or wherever you're listening at, we are here live with the one and only Mr. Ramon Jackson. Welcome, my brother, back to the Solar Streets.
What's up, bro? How's it?
You are cooking with this music. Got new music out, new visuals out. It's got to be an exciting time musically for you. How's everything feeling?
Man, everything feels amazing. I've been working on this project since last November, and I'm just excited to put some visuals to it, man. I'm doing an entire visual album, so you'll be seeing visuals for everything. I can't wait.
How many tracks?
It's going to be 10 tracks, so 10 visuals.
You got to be still one of the hardest working individuals who's coming to New York City and making things happen. Making things happen.
Look, I feel like this. If you're going to move to the city for an opportunity like music, you got to do it for real. Like, I didn't move to the city to play, so I'm like, hey, let's go.
So let me ask you, and creating this new project and this new body of work that you have now, what would you say is your growth from your last project going into this project, and how everything is coming?
This project is multi-genre. So my last project was primarily blues, you know, a mashup of blues and R&B, but heavily leaning into blues. This has some hip hop, some R&B, some Afrobeat, some rock. So it really kind of encompasses the multifacetedness of my personality and of my artistry.
Dope. I love how you're able to just go into all these different sounds of our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have no boundaries when it comes down to just create music, and it comes out pretty damn good. So I appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely. Like, how did you decide on which songs you did the visuals for first, and what's your process? What's your process bringing it all to light?
So the project is called Champion, and I feel like it just kind of all fell into place. When I hit my videographer up, I was like, "Excuse me, I want to do a visual album," and he was like, "Oh, dope." So I sent him the tracks, and he was like, let's just build a storyline, and we can kind of like marry everything together via a storyline. I was like, perfect, because that's what I do anyway.
Right.
So I think even though Champion was the first track that I dropped that at the end of May. It's not the first song that I did a visual for, because it's like really intricate. Like it's a number about fighting. So I'm taking these boxing classes, and I was like, we gotta do this in boxing ring and all this other stuff. So I had to train for months because I wanted it to look realistic.
Right.
So I was like, okay, that's not gonna be an easy video to shoot. And to shoot that video, I shot us running across the Manhattan Bridge, back into Manhattan, across the Brooklyn Bridge. That was 2 hours. And then did another 3 hours in the gym. And then another hour of training that evening on Chelsea Piers. So that was like 6 hours of just shooting me training.
You put yourself through the Diddy challenge. Go and get those cheesecakes.
I'll never do it again. How about that? Not even get to eat no cheesecake.
Damn, that's a lot of running, and you. I mean, so what do you hope with this project, the visual project, that the people take away from the work the hard work, all this hard work you put in?
I want people to just enjoy it. First of all, like it's a vibrant, album. I already released the visual for Supernova, which features my sister Karen J, and it's a dope Afro beats joint. Facts. And I kind of want everybody to just kind of lose themselves in the music and the messages of the music. Supernova talks about, when people think that you're done and you're fizzling out, you just explode like a supernova and your heat goes everywhere. That fire is spreading. So, there's always some kind of positive message in whatever it is that I'm doing. And I wrap it in dope beats, nice vocals, and vibrant visuals, because I want the people to be inspired to live their best life.
Well, that's definitely what's happening. When you premiered the video at the Sugar Bar like 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
it was crazy. Pandemonium in the Cat Lounge. Everybody was going crazy.
It was definitely exciting to see how people react to everything. So that was exciting.
Yeah. So that video it's a crazy video, crazy dope video. What was the how long did it take to do that video?
Honestly, we shot that video in like 1 hour.
No way.
Yeah, we shot it in 1 hour, and it looks like we went to St. Lucia. We shot it in Central Park. And my videographer just added all of the color and the onto the foliage that was already in Central Park and made it look like we were in the islands. And he kind of did the CGI thing where it looked like we were flying into one of the islands. It was dope. Like, I just want everybody to experience that journey, and kind of like step out of the box. So that's what we did. I was like, I got 4 days to film this visual album. So I'm squeezing like 3 videos into each day. The only day that I filmed only one video was that day that we filmed Champion, because it was so much content to get throughout the entire day. So the rest of the day, we had to like chop up and say, okay, we're doing this video at this time slot, this video at this time slot, this video at this time slot. And we got it all done.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So working with Karen J, what brought you and Karen J together on a track?
So Karen and I have written together before. We wrote, she was a co-writer on Ghosted, which was on my Silver Tongue album in 2020. And so, she's Trini. So I was like, yo, I got this dope Afrobeat song. I want you on it. She heard my first verse. She wrote her verse in like, 15, 20 minutes. And then hopped on the mic and said, trailblazing, we move at the speed of light. And I was like, oh, snap. Yeah, it was crazy.
This is for you.
Bro, my hairs on my arms stood up. It was crazy. So
yeah, that was a dope collab. And y'all both really compliment that track dope. Nicely, very nicely, very nicely. It's going out. You giving you and Karen J giving Chandler and Karen J a run for his money.
Listen, I'm excited because they have some really, really, really dope stuff in the can and ready to fire out, and I can't wait for them to get it out.
Yeah, me too. I got the chance to have them as guests last week, so we spoke a little bit about it, and then saw them. And then the video was premiered that night. After the interview, I was like, oh my God, you didn't even get a chance to mention that. So it's a surprise. So I was like, oh man, we got to tie this in together. So that's dope. I love how everybody just, supports one another and just works together. It's like great energy, great vibes, and this music coming together. That's very important. How important collaboration is for you when you're creating your music?
I feel like collaboration is the way that, excuse me, we've known all of the greats. You know, you look at Ashford and Simpson, you know, they're co-writers. You know, Miss Val Simpson is the composer, and Nick Ashford wrote the lyrics. So, you know, when I think about collaboration, I think about how so many of our legendary foundational artists use collaboration to get their you know, their songs out, to get their gifts out. Iron sharpens iron, so it's always good to bounce ideas off of other artists so that you can kind of refine what it is that you're trying to do.
True. And you are doing it and doing it very well, might I add. And when do you feel like you'll be releasing these videos? Like, you have a timeline on when every video will be out? Is there?
So I just dropped today. I dropped the video for Toy Soldier. It's a socio-political record. I was trying to run some ads online on it, and apparently you can't run socio-political ads anymore. So it was
especially
rejected.
Around this time, they can't.
Right.
They gotta save all the time space for the for all the political people, I guess.
Exactly. But yeah, you know, go to my YouTube and check that out. It's a fire record. It's got Tremaine Cribbs on it, and he's spitting
another talented brother.
Verse. Like, oh my God. Like, it's probably one of the man is incredibly talented, but he is spitting like great. Thank you. Spitting like crazy on that record. And then the next one that I'm releasing next Thursday is called Compromise, and I'm only releasing that because award season's coming up, and the deadlines to get nominations is like October 12th. So it's like, okay, I gotta release something that is crossover for the public, and it's an acoustic joint. It was composed by Tony Armand, and then I wrote the lyrics and melody, and it's a really, really, really heartfelt song. It's dope. The video is starring Elena Ray Simpson, who is an incredible actress.
Y'all back together again.
We back together.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So a lot of musicians that you're working with on this project, you met at the Sugar Bar, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you know, we're
all the best talent is anyway.
Yeah, we should, you know, we're supposed to reach into our own networks for the things that, you know, the resources that we need. I feel like Elena is incredible, and she helps me to open up artistically when we work together, because that's what she does professionally anyways. She was in my very first video, which was called It's Just a Way. And I was like, what the heck am I supposed to do? And like, she just came in and kind of like eased everything. So like, I like to work with people who I have chemistry with, and people in your own network, you're going to have better chemistry with than hiring somebody outside your network. So yeah, that's why I choose her.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. So do you feel like this project is going to, well, I'm sure that's the goal, to propel you to, like, what level do you see yourself reaching with this project? Like, where do you want to see yourself go?
I mean, I feel like I'm ready for an elevation to the next level. Artistically, vocally, writing wise, I'm up there with popular artists that are on the radio. And, you know, it's time to be heard on a wider scale, and to just get out there and start opening for, you know, for people that, you know, like an Anthony Hamilton,
yeah, that would be nice.
You know, even an October London, a Tank, one of my favorites, PJ Morton, and who I call the GOAT of independent artist Eric Roberson. So, those are some of the people that I would love to work with as far as like stage shows.
So on this independent journey, and those are some dope artists that I can see the way you're moving. I can see that happen, especially like the PJ Morgans and the Eric Robersons, because they really seem to made it from that independent space. And with you being an independent artist, how do you feel today about the term independent artist and what it means today compared to what it meant a few years ago, because the game is just always changing and stuff. So it meant something totally different back like 3-4 years ago, and today it's like being independent is like the thing to do if you can do it. So how do you feel about the progress of being an independent artist consistently?
I'm excited about it. Like, I don't know if you've seen in the last week, like the major labels have laid off hundreds of artists and a bunch of executives as well. So, independent is the way to go. It's really the only way that you're in control of the stuff that you create. And I get that a lot of artists don't create their own stuff. I do. I own my own music, my masters, and my publishing. And I think that that's great. While there's always going to be a struggle for an independent artist.
All right, we froze up a little bit. So, give that answer one more time.
Okay. I'm excited about being an independent artist. I feel like as an independent artist, you're always in control of your own brand, your own music. I write my own music. I own my own publishing, own my own masters. And, I don't know if you've seen in the last week or so, hundreds of artists have been cut from their labels, and they don't get to maintain their own music. The labels keep that. It belongs to the labels. So I prefer to be independent. There's always going to be a challenge of getting out to a broader audience, but I'd rather have that challenge than have the challenge of being signed to a label, create all this incredible music, it gets shelved, and then getting dropped from the label, and then I don't even have the rights to perform or record it or release it because it belongs to the label. So that's one thing for people that's one thing for people to think about, when they're pursuing music is, do you want a corporate entity to own and make all the decisions for you, or do you want to own your stuff yourself? And so owning my stuff myself is definitely the way to go.
That's a fact. Did you ever want to be signed? I'm sure we've all wanted to be.
When I was a child, but I didn't know what that meant. As an adult, knowing what it means to be signed and seeing how so many artists are taken advantage of. And people are like, well, you got to have a good lawyer and good contracts and blah, 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 blah. There's still people who have all of that in place that are still not making what they're worth. If a label offers you $1 million sign-on, that means that they think that you're worth $10 million. So what you're saying to me is you see the $1 million and you don't believe in yourself enough to think, ooh, I can make this on my own, versus I'll go ahead and sell who I am, my image and likeness and movement and everything and personal life to a label for $1 million, even though the label's making at least 10 times that off of you. And if they can't make that off of you, they will cut you and take your music with them. They'll give it to one of their other artists.
That's a fact. So do you remember the exact moment when you embraced the independence?
Shoot. Yeah. When I was in my 20s, many moons ago, and I was working in a corporate plantation, and and they hired somebody's nephew to be my boss who had just gotten out of college. I was hot as fish grease because he was my superior, yet he wasn't superior in terms of work ethic, work knowledge, or anything like that. So I was like, if this is the way that life is going to be, I'm just going to go independent. And I wasn't doing music at the time, but that's where I started like my business mindset journey. And that worked in my favor once I started doing music.
Yeah, because independence is the way to go. I really believe. And then if the opportunity presents itself for some major collaborations, and you handle those meetings as such and see what works for you. Right. You feel me? So I'm excited to see this work that you're about to put forth to the people, because I already know it's some passion behind it, and you are hardworking and dedicated, and your commitment to your grind is commendable. Like, everybody should be inspired by you, because you are a testament of someone who believes in themselves and goes for it, and just go in a major way. You know what I'm saying? You're independent, but you move in a major way. So I respect that, because you don't get that often from artists that you meet in your own hometown. So the fact that you should throw a class and just say independence party or something, I don't know, but something, because sometimes when we need that fire. We need to see somebody that's burning, that fire, putting that fire underneath us just to move. Because like sometimes living and talking to a lot of creatives that are from here, they get discouraged because of the grind that's just here, because they've dealt with all types of whatever they've dealt with, and then someone else comes from a different town and they don't even care about none of that. That's not even a focus, because they left their drama in another state or whatever, and then they come ready to put in the work while everybody's still complaining about what happened yesterday. You didn't have a yesterday here, so you don't even know what that's about. You're going straight for it, and I'm glad that things are working in your favor, and you're making these connects and inspiring the people that you're touching.
I appreciate that.
You feel me? So
I feel you.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to support you here on the Soul of the Streets, and I'm a big fan of the Supernova track and the new joint that you just dropped. Cause I just played it, and I was like, wait a minute now, the boy's dropping too much fire. When I walk away, come on now. Who produced these tracks, these particular tracks?
So the entire album is produced by the legendary Rashard Cole.
Legendary. That's a fact.
Legendary. Listen, people don't understand. Like, we grew up listening to this man. He produced with Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob. He's got platinum records out there. He's been a part of production teams for, I think, Universal Music since then. So, it's just an honor to be working with him. I tell him every time. He's like, yeah, man, it ain't nothing. I'm like, no, it's everything, bro. Like, first of all, it's not every day that you even come in contact with someone like that you grew up, listening to. But then it's also not every day that they're so down to earth that they're like, yeah, you dope, let's work. So just sitting in the studio and watching him finish the tracks out, it goes from like a record that I wrote to like something incredibly better, because the production is crazy. Like, just his ear is bananas. So yeah, it's been like a dream come true.
I can imagine. So what's next? What's next for you now that you've gotten these songs recorded? You're in the process of shooting videos, dropping videos. What can we look forward to next?
So next up is Compromise, and then I'm just going to promote the heck out of everything that I'm doing, so that the world will see it, and then keep it moving from there. I think I'm gonna drop the entire visual album in January.
Okay.
That gives my videographer time to edit everything into a storyline, because we got hours and hours and hours of footage.
I bet. So when it comes out as a visual, you're gonna drop the the entire project at the same time?
I'm gonna drop the entire project at the same time, as well as each individual video.
Dope.
So the videos
really soak up all the music. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that way people can consume the music individually that they like the most, as well as they can consume the entire project as a storyline. Because there are people still out there that listen to albums.
I do.
So I'm like, we'll have a little something for everybody to enjoy.
Any shows coming up?
I have my album release show at Ashford Simpson Sugar Bar, October 19th.
Okay, dope.
My Champion Tour hits Dallas Fort Worth on October 5th.
Oh.
You can find tickets online for that. And yeah, we're going to keep it moving.
That's what I'm talking about. How can the people find you on social media and all that good stuff?
I am the Ramon Jackson, TheRamon Jackson on all social media platforms, whether it be TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. One moniker across everything. Instagram. I'm not one of those people that got underscores and all that other stuff. I want to make it easy for you to find me.
You got your name early. You got your use one of the first Ramon Jackson.
Exactly.
There's only one. Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
Right.
Well, this has been a joy. This has been a pleasure talking to you as always. Looking forward to seeing the growth and the releases of this new music. And I'll be supporting, like I said, here on the Solar Streets per usual. And you already know how we do it. I will see you in these New York City streets. As you continue to drop and give your soul.
I appreciate you, bro.
You already. Have a good one. Thanks so much.